something to smile about. Girl Scout cookie season is in full swing. This year, Girl Scouts of Maine is cooking up something special. The organization is hosting its first ever Cookie Palooza. The event encourages Maine businesses to team up with local Girl Scouts to create new menu items or pairings featuring different cookies. So far, there are 10 places around the state signed up to participate, and hopefully more will be on the way.
Caramel Delight Inspired Stout is a really exciting. Mass Landing is going to be doing that for us. And then we have some pastry and dessert chefs that are going to be doing a couple of different things. Some are doing like a trio of, bites of 3 different flavor cookies. So that's exciting. And then we have some that are just going to be doing pairings. So pairing the cookies with the beers at their brewery.
Cookie Palooza includes a couple of contests. There will be a vote for a fan favorite recipe or pairing and a social media element that could win you a year's supply of Girl Scout cookies. A full list of participating locations and their cookie creations will be available soon. For more information, you can head to the link on our website and mobile app.